it's Mimi. Welcome back to my channel. I am here to share with you guys my unicorn wand that I created, as well as hopefully a quick tutorial on how I created my little tool ring that I showed in one of my recent hauls. So I just pulled this out because this is the die that I used to create the main base of my rosette wand. And I use the medium size, which means that you have to cut up to this little point that it has on each side, and you have to cut that out 5 times. So let me share with you guys my wand. Isn't it so cute? So I have a whole lot of stuff going on here. So first, like I said, I created that using that Hobby Lobby paper. And I did ink around the edges with some spun sugar, distress ink. And I don't know if you guys can see all that sparkle. But I spritzed it with my homemade shimmer spray, which I use Perfect Pearls. And then while it was wet, I just sprinkled on some of my Martha Stewart glitter, and it's the fine one, I believe, and it just stuck to it as it was drying. So I love that sparkle. And then, like I said, I shared with you guys this tool ring, and I love it because it's rainbow colored. I used one of my gold doilies in my stash, and I used my Creative Time doily die and cut this out of some pink vellum. And then I used another one of the My Creative Time doily dies and cut this out of some pink shimmer cardstock. And here's the unicorn, and I believe that's a Spellbinders die. And I popped it up on foam and cut that out of some glitter cardstock. I made a double tool bow here with some of my blue glimmer tool. And then here is a Michael's flower. I recently shared these little curly Q ribbons that I've been making. So I attached them right underneath the bow. And then here you can see the tool ring much better. And I used the purple, orange, yellow, pink, and the blue. And I had a big old mess on my desk of glitter, but that's just the sacrifice, I guess, for making glittery things. And then I adhered another one of the gold doilies that I have in my stash. Here is a crepe paper rosette, and I actually created this using the Tim Holtz rosette die. So I think I stacked about 3 layers together, cut that out, and then shaped that. I shimmered that up as well, and then on the edges I used a combination of some white chunky glitter as well as this really pale lavender glitter. And I just adhered that around the perimeter. Here I have the MFT, what is it called? It's a Star Shaker die that I picked up recently. It's the first time I used it. And it does cut out this frame, so I cut that out of some glitter cardstock. And put it all on this rainbow wand that I got from Michael's. And I did actually stick in a, what is it? One of those skewers, those barbecue skewers, because this is really top heavy and it will be a little bit challenging for it to kind of sit up in like a vase or something. And the size from end to end for the glitter tool ring is, I think, about 6 inches or a little bit over 6 inches. So this is a pretty hefty wand. So I hope the recipient loves this as much as I do. It's kind of hard for me to part with it, but let me share with you guys how I created this ring. Some of you have asked, and this is specifically for Anna, who is Serenity Creations. hey girl, and it's taken me a little bit of time to try to get a tutorial together. But just know that I'm not saying that this is the correct way to do it. This is just how I did it. So I'm only going to use 3 colors of tulle, and I have already pre-cut them just to save some time. So here are my piles. They are roughly cut about 7 inches and almost 2 inches, but you can cut these strips however you would like. So when you're cutting your tulle, just make sure that you're cutting against the stretchy part. And I know that sounds really confusing right now, but when you have like a piece of tulle, if you stretch it out, there will be one side that will be very stretchy, like this, and normally it doesn't go back all the way to the original shape. I hope you guys can see that. You want to cut against that. So the long measurement, which is the 7 inches, you want to make sure that it's the non-stretchy side. So I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions about that, make sure to leave it in the comments below and I'll try to explain it a little bit better. So first you want to create some sort of circular ring. I did that with some dies. These are by Lifestyle Crafts, and I think you can find these at Tuesday Morning. I got this at Michael's a long time ago. And do you see how they nest really closely together? That's kind of what you want. So I picked out 2 sizes and I taped them together so that I can cut multiples of this frame, because it's going to have 2 cutting lines to create a frame. And I ran that through my die cutting machine. This is some lightweight chipboard, so you can use like a cereal box. And I cut 2 out of those. And this is some yellow basil paper, and it's pretty sturdy, but you want to make sure that you cut enough and make it sturdy enough that when you start forming your circle, that it's not going to distort its shape. It can a little bit, and it will, but you just want to make sure that it has enough rigidity that it won't basically fall apart. So I'm just going to quickly glue these together. Okay, now that you have your center ring, just make sure the glue dries, but because I'm doing a tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and just be careful. And I'm just going to alternate. I'm just going to do the yellow, pink, blue, then yellow, pink, blue until I get all the way around. I'm not going to have you guys sit here and watch me do this all the way because it is repetitive. I'll do it a couple times and then I'll share with you guys what it looks like at the end. So I'm going to take my yellow, one of my yellow strips, and kind of scrunch it up, fold it in half as evenly as I can get it, and place this with the tulle on top of the ring. I'm going to take both ends and tuck it underneath and through the top. And then at first gently pull. This is why it's really important to have the stretch be on the opposite of the way that you cut it, because if you did this, you'd probably break your tulle strips. So just get it as tight as you can. So that is the first one. I'm going to take the next color Again, kind of scrunch it up in the middle, fold it in half, place it on the top, tuck both ends through. This is when you can even it out before you pull it tight, and then kind of pull that tight and get them as close as you can. So that is the second one. Okay, I'm going to show you guys one more time. So here's the blue. I'm going to fold it in half. Put that on top of the ring. Tuck it through. Kind of even it out and then pull. And the different tools that you have, unless they are from the same brand, which mine are not, they will behave a little bit differently. So as you can see, I can pull this blue one a little bit tighter. The yellow one is more rigid, but the beauty about this is that even with the varying difference of the length, even though I cut them all relatively the same, I'm gonna just be able to trim that off at the end. So this all just depends on how big you want your tool ring to be. So I'm going to continue to do this until I have everything filled in. So I will be back and share with you guys what it looks like, and then we'll do some trimming. Okay, so I'm pretty much done, as you can see. So I'm going to just finish this up. Okay, so here is my finished ring. I love the way that it looks on the circle too, even though you're most likely not going to see it. So I'm just kind of gathering it and pulling it out because it does tend to stick on each other, which will just make the trimming a little bit easier. So from those piles, I only have a few pieces of the yellow and blue. I used all the pink. So I'm going to grab a pair of scissors, and basically because the pink is the shortest one, I'm just going to trim this, and I'm going to try not to over trim it because I do have a tendency to do that. So let's go ahead and trim it out. Okay, that's pretty even. And of course I'm going to mess with it here and there. I don't know exactly what size I need this entire ring to be, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Really, this whole ring, doing all the tulle took me probably about 15 minutes and probably closer to 10. So it really does not take that long. It does help that I pre-cut all my tulle and made sure that I had enough. And that's really going to come by trial and error. For this ring, the ring itself is, the inside is like 2 1/8 inches. So it really just depends on what you're going to put this onto. But isn't that so pretty? I love it. And I'm sure you guys can't see my desk here, but there is glitter, like a whole pile of glitter right here. So the best thing to do to pick that up really quickly, and I'm sure most of you know this trick, but just take a Swiffer dry cloth and it'll all just magically pick up. See? So, like I said, hopefully that helped. Let me know what you guys think of my unicorn wand, and I hope you guys are having a great week so far, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, everyone.